So this past Sunday, I'm at church, and afterward, chatting with a few friends. And I have one friend who we both really enjoy playing basketball, and we both live in the same apartment complex as well. And they just recently put the rims back on the hoops, and we had shared excitement about this. Just last week, I got downstairs to find my basketball, and I picked it up and I realized, oh no, it needs air. A few weeks prior, I'd been pumping up a football to play catch, and I snapped the little needle. So I knew I didn't have one of those. And so I'm talking with my friend, and I say to him, do you have a pump and a needle that I can use to reinflate my basketball so that I can use it? Because I can shoot it, but I can't really dribble it at this point. It's pretty deflated. And he shares he might have one laying around, and then we go on with our conversation. A few minutes later, he and I are still talking, and someone taps me on the shoulders, and another friend walks up, and he says, "Hey, I overheard you talking about needing something to inflate your basketball, and I found this, a needle, the exact thing I was just asking my friend for." And I said, "What? You got to be kidding me!" So we were meeting outside in an amphitheater for church on Sunday. He said, "No, I looked over to the side, and the light from the sun caught something glimmering, and I saw it. I picked it up, and I had just overheard you having this conversation, and so I decided to bring it over." I had just been sharing this small. Does it even count as a need? Maybe a want, somewhere in the gray area, but on the scale of importance, it's tiny. This tiny little basketball needle. I don't know how it all played into it somehow in that space. I think somehow God set it up, right? How else would we explain it? Like, it is coincidence, but I think coincidence is how God gets our attention. And I just happened to be having this conversation about needing to pump up a basketball the very same day that someone else just happens to be overhearing it, and who just happens to look over, and the sun just happens to be at the right angle to catch this tiny little thing. My wife and I were looking to buy a house right now for our family. And it is not the time to be looking to buy a house unless you just happen to have duffel bags of money laying around. We've gone through the process of offering, getting rejected. We actually got accepted on one house but backed out of it for various reasons. And it's been a journey of, God, what do you want for us? What do we want? How do our desires interplay with that? You know, we can overthink those things. And we just saw this house this last weekend that we really loved, and really just thought, man, this would be the perfect house. Oh, we would love this. We would love this place so much. It had everything we wanted and then some. And we talked to a realtor, and we put an offer on it, and we waited and waited and waited and waited. And just this morning received word that they had gone with another offer. And I don't know what that means, other than we're not getting that house. Some other family is going to receive the gift of that house, and really excited for whoever that is, and excited for the family that's going to sell and move on from that place. But there's a part of me that I begin to wonder, okay, God, how are you working in this? It's so easy for me to think, God, you don't have anything good for me. This was the perfect house. Don't you see this? This is what we want. Didn't you see this? Didn't you hear our prayers? We wrote a great letter. We put an offer in. God, don't you see this? And then I remember this tiny little needle. And the mystery of God's timing, the mystery of God's goodness, the mystery of God's provision stretches me, challenges me, invites me to believe that the God who can somehow have a small inflation needle appear in a random place in a seemingly random time to line up with a random conversation overheard by another random person to provide for a felt need on such a small scale, then can't he do so much more? It leads me to think that the God who can provide a needle to inflate a basketball can and probably will provide a house in just the right time too.